Why you close the yeshivot? What can be bad in yeshivot? People sit and learn Gemara all day, and learn Musar, Chumash. What? Racism. People don't get accepted to the yeshivot for a few different reasons that I don't like. If he's not in the level of the yeshiva, okay, we don't want to waste your time. Go to yeshiva that match your level, fine. If he's not a religious boy, okay, I understand. The yeshiva doesn't want to put a secular boy with a religious boy, then he's going to start talking to them about the Hollywood movies that he watch at home. It's going to ruin all the children. Okay, that's a legitimate reason. But sometimes it's not it. Sometimes it's the money. They want $30,000 a year tuition, and the father agreed to pay 12. They don't lose on 12,000 a month. He's a worker. He's not everyone is a billionaire. So I have another 5, 6 children. I can't pay it. I'm killing myself paying you. No, they find excuses. No, we don't have room, this. You can't make a yeshiva a business. It has to be a place of saving souls. If the purpose of it became money, it's not a yeshiva anymore. You don't want your children to learn over there. If they tell you leave because you cannot pay the tuition, however, we have to also take into consideration that sometimes the yeshivot really in financial crisis. That's a different story. If they don't have, they can tell the father, why should I go collect for your son? You go and collect for your son. Go to the community, raise money. But I'm not talking about cases like this. I'm talking about the fancy schmancy institution that have much money in their accounts. Most people pay full tuition, they load it. They don't take someone because he's poor. Why would Hashem want yeshiva like this to stay in business? Or they don't take a kid because it's not their nationality. The Ashkenazi won't take the Sfaradi, or the Sfaradi won't take the Ashkenazi, or Hasid won't take someone else. What's going on over here? It's not Jewish enough for you. You don't want him because he comes from different culture. So that's racism. Sometimes in Israel they have a lot of Sfaradi girls that do not get into yeshivot because they don't want to accept them. What did they say? We already took our 30% Sfaradim, they say. Meaning that's it, we cannot go more than 30% because you contaminate our yeshiva. That's really what they want to say. You contaminate our yeshiva. Why? Because if we looked at you as equal, what do I care if I have 30 or 80% of you? If I looked at you as equal. Would you compare this girl to this girl and say that they're not as good in the learning? Of course not. They're great, they learn, they're modest. Their only crime is their last name. It can work both ways. Racism exists everywhere, not only by Ashkenazim and not only by Sfaradim or by Hasidim. It's depend on a person. You have some people that are head of the yeshivot, you never ever see by them such a thing. They will take all kids equally. I met a lot of them. It's not a factor. They don't care who you are, from what nationality you came. So you see that Hashem is showing us, even your yeshivot do not follow my will. That's why he closed all the yeshivot in the world. You know what it is to close all the yeshivot in the world, even for a month? It's trillions of mitzvot that are getting burned right now. Trillions. All over the world. Yeshivot. More than 100,000 learners. Imagine each hour is 60,000 mitzvot. This is crucial for the nation of Israel. Not only for the kids. Do you know how many thousands of kids became secular in the last 10 months in Israel because they're on the streets? Remember, Israel, it's not America. In America, most family lives in private homes, not in apartments. Everywhere here in Brooklyn, it's private home. Sometimes attached, but private. Over there, it's small apartments. You have 9 kids in 2 or 3 bedroom apartments. They're all in a living room or in a kitchen. People go nuts. The kids cannot stay in the house. They go on the streets. What happened when a kid is from morning to night in the street with the secular kids? I don't have to tell you what happened. They're showing things on the phones, and thousands of neshamot lost their souls just because of this. Meaning, when Hashem made that decision on Rosh Hashanah a year ago, he actually knew that this decision will actually destroy thousands of neshamot. And he still closed the yeshivot. It's not an easy decision. It's a holocaust. It's a spiritual holocaust. It's mamash like Rabbi Akiva and the 24,000 that died. It's a spiritual holocaust. Closing 150, 160,000 learners closing all the yeshivot in the world, kindergartens, bringing kids to the street and destroy their neshamot, that means Hashem was way more fed up with us than we can imagine. That's really the truth. It's very painful truth, but that's the truth. Because Hashem would not do to us something like this if He was happy from us. We give our life for the children education. So in 1 minute, you're going to destroy all the education that they got in 10 years in yeshiva and put them on the street 6 months with all the kids that, Hashem Yerachem, how they talk on the streets, as the curses, how they dress, girls, guys. That's a tragedy. Also here, a lot of kids, it affected them.